Good morning. Today I'm reading from the Gospel of Matthew. It's chapter 16, verses 13 through 20. Now, when Jesus came into the district of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, "Who do people say that the Son of Man is?" And they said, "Some say John the Baptist, but others Elijah, and still others Jeremiah or one of the prophets." He said to them, "But who do you say that I am?" Simon Peter answered, "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God." Jesus answered him, "Blessed are you, Simon, son of Jonah, for flesh and blood has not revealed this to you, but my Father in heaven. And I tell you, you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades will not prevail against it. I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven." Then he sternly ordered the disciples not to tell anyone that he was the Messiah. Who do you say that I am? That's the question Jesus poses to his disciples. He's asking them a most important question. Now, questions are put to us all the time. There are a lot of questions that come our way every single day. Some of them are trivial. They're necessary, but trivial. Do you want fries with that sandwich? Do you want room for cream in your coffee? We answer questions like that without giving them a lot of thought. Life goes on. There are a few questions, though, that get at the very heart of things. We call them the big questions that thoughtful people have always asked. Who am I? Where did I come from? How did I come to be the way I am? What is the purpose of my life? This question that Jesus poses to his disciples is one of those questions that will uncover the entire direction of one's life. What do you make of Jesus? Nothing is more important than that for the overall trajectory of your life. Is he someone you take seriously or not? If you do take him seriously, what is the reason for that? What is it about him that is distinctive? Jesus poses the question about himself to his disciples. These disciples have had plenty of opportunity to hear things and to see things. And now in the Gospel of Matthew, we come to a pivotal moment. You might say everything they've experienced reaches a climax at just this point. They've witnessed Jesus' teachings and his mighty deeds. When Jesus asks them this important questions, the disciples have plenty of material to work with. Who do you say that I am? One of Jesus' disciples, Simon Peter, apparently speaking for all of them, has a clear answer. You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God. Let's try to understand what he meant. What is Messiah? Messiah is literally an anointed one. Kings were anointed. For a long time, Israel was looking for a king to come help them, a great king anointed by God, Messiah. In the coming of this king, God would be at work in a unique way. In this Messiah, God himself would once more draw near to his people. So can you appreciate what Peter's saying? He's affirming that Jesus, the very one he knows so well, is in fact this coming king, the Messiah. It's staggering what he says. Now, Messiah is the Hebrew term for anointed one, the king who was coming to save his people. And when you translate that word into Greek, you get Christ. Christ is a title. So when we say Jesus Christ, we're saying that Jesus of Nazareth is, in fact, the Messiah, the coming one who would deliver Israel. Jesus Christ means that Jesus is the anointed one. Peter adds a little bit more to his answer to Jesus' question. It clarifies and enhances his strong statement that Jesus is the long-awaited Messiah. He is at the same time, Peter says, the Son of the living God. This harkens back to Psalm 2, which speaks of the Lord and his anointed. It says, "He said to me, 'You are my son, today I have begotten you.'" N.T. Wright makes this comment: the phrase Son of God was a biblical phrase, indicating that the king stood in a particular relation to God, adopted to be his special representative. That's what Peter is saying about Jesus. For those of us who are not Jewish, it may be hard for us to appreciate the force of Peter's discovery. Jesus is the Jewish Messiah. Jesus, they now grasp, is the one they've been longing for. He is the Messiah of Israel. He is the Son of the God of Israel. He is the embodiment of Israel's hope. In the person of Jesus, the God of Israel is keeping his promises. I say these things because I want us to appreciate the Jewishness of Jesus. But I also want us to appreciate the remarkable truth that the Jewish Messiah, Jesus, is also the Savior of the world. Thus, the question that Jesus posed to his disciples in that day is also posed to us. Here's the way that Dale Bruner lays out the connection, how Jesus is both the Jewish Messiah and the Savior of the world. The Christ, by definition, and in distinction from all prophets and forerunners, is Israel's ultimate one, God's final king. The word Christ means, in Gentile language, the answer. Here is Peter's confession in modern English. You are the answer, the point, the last word, the meaning. You are it. You see, we're all looking for something. We're looking for help in the fullest possible sense. And Peter's clear statement is something we too can affirm. Jesus is the Messiah of Israel and the Savior of the world. He is the answer to our quest. I began by saying that while there are many questions that come our way on a daily basis, there are some that are truly important. I hope that we will all stand alongside Peter and the other disciples. I hope that we too will find ourselves being addressed by Jesus himself. So what about you? What about me? Jesus is asking, who do you say that I am? That's the question. Can we join Peter and the others in affirming that Jesus is the one we've been looking for all our lives? That he is the rightful king who has come? That's the question.